got an email from you, and we had a phone conversation or two, and you've got some, I'm going to use the term private issue. Is that a good way to say it? Okay. And we talked about that, but you just told me here earlier that some of the issues you had tended to be resolved. Did I hear that right from you?
Yeah, I've done a lot of work today and yesterday.
Okay. On the same type of thing you and I were talking about?
No, just whatever.
Okay, they were different specific events?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Hold on one second. I want to whisper something in your ear, okay?
Okay.
I just want to make sure we got some terminology clear. Okay. One of the things we're working here with is a secret that you've had for a very long time. I've just had permission, actually, to tell you the secret. So I'm going to tell you, all right? And that's going to allow us to work in and among the foundations underneath that, you know, to your benefit. The secret is when you were, how old? Starting what age?
6 that I know of.
6, okay. She was molested by her uncles. Now, one of the pieces of that was you told your grandmother.
When I was 13, I finally
Yeah,
told.
at 13 you told your grandmother, okay, and she led you to believe that this was you should never, ever, ever tell anybody. And for years and years and years, you didn't tell anybody. It was a big secret.
Yeah.
Okay, until today. Okay, all right. The result of that, though, Kim, has been that you've been introverted for all this time, very introverted. Has affected your ability to wear, I mean, you do facials for people, that's what you do. And you need to be kind of outgoing. It'd be better for business if you were outgoing and so on. And that's been difficult for you, okay. So what I thought we might do is to take some of the events, the molestation events, is that the right, is that the one you want to work on? Okay. And we'll start dealing with those and see if we can't get you some release on that. That hopefully is now going to help you be a little less introverted. Now see, there's a lot of legs on the table because it's been a lot of years and there's been more than one instance of molestation and so on. And you basically just haven't been able to do it. Okay.
I've done some grief work and some anger work, but not somehow or other not gotten it resolved in me.
Okay. And the grandmother in this case is now passed on. Okay. You also told your mother, and at what age was that?
Well, actually, I did tell her when I was 13.
You told her when you were 13, as well as your grandmother?
Yeah.
Okay. Your mother's still living, but you don't know where she is?
Right.
Okay, and the uncles, you have no idea if they're living or not? Okay. What did you call the uncle, like Uncle Bill, or did you call him George, or what did you call him?
One was Uncle Bill, one was Uncle Dick. The other thing is that when I did tell my mother, and she did do some appropriate things, she
did some appropriate things?
Yeah, she actually kept me away from that uncle in particular. My grandmother died, and I always related that in my subconscious, even though it maybe doesn't make sense.
So I understand. Your mother kept you distant from your uncles.
Right. And
your grandmother died, and you associate that.
Well, because I told, and I wasn't supposed to tell.
Okay. And because you told, therefore we have the problem. As I also recall it, when you told your grandmother said certain words to you. Which word? Do you remember the words you told me the other day?
Well, don't tell his wife, Ellie.
Don't tell his wife. Was that Uncle Bill or Uncle Dick?
No, it's Uncle Dick.
Uncle Dick. Don't tell Aunt Ellie.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's all she said. She didn't say something like, tell Aunt Ellie and you will die or you will be punished or anything like that.
No, but
you interpreted that.
I interpreted it.
Okay. And you were a young girl at the time, so that's how you picked it up. So you carried that all this time, even though it was never said.
Right.
Okay. So logically, we can talk about that and say.
It's silly,
logically.
but yes, my grandmother died, and I thought it was my fault. And
yeah. Okay. How do you feel when you say that, on a number basis, 0 to 10?
I actually feel sad about that, and a number 9, I guess.
Okay. All right, just stay with me a second. Do you need your glasses on?
No.
Okay, just stay with me. Okay. Even though I'm sad?
Even though I'm sad.
About about this long time ago issue.
Long time ago issue.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
It's a long time ago.
Long time ago.
And I just wonder if it should be me that should be sad.
And I just wonder if it should be me that should be sad.
Does that make sense to you?
I don't know.
Okay, that's all right. Just stay with me. The sadness, Kim, is about the fact that your grandmother died.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was my fault, probably.
That it was your fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it your fault? Logically, was it your fault? Okay. Even though I somehow take this on as my fault.
Even though I somehow take this on as my fault.
Simply because I told my mother.
Simply because I told my mother.
Who took some normal actions.
Who took some normal actions.
And somehow my grandmother died.
And somehow my grandmother died.
Somehow that's my fault.
Somehow that's my fault.
Okay, that's how I took it.
That's how I took it.
I'm a young girl.
I'm a young girl.
I'm not able to put things together very well at that age.
I'm not able to put things together.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
My grandmother could have died for any reason.
She could have died for any reason.
Okay. I just picked this reason to be sad about.
This reason to be sad about.
Okay. What did she die of, by the way?
I don't know. She had a stroke, and she was old enough to die, I guess.
Yeah, about how old was she?
78 or 9.
78 or 9, so she had a stroke? Okay. Even though I'm so powerful?
Even though I'm so powerful.
I can cause somebody else a stroke?
I can cause somebody else's stroke.
Just by telling my mother something?
Just by telling my mother something.
I should have such power.
I should have such power.
I wonder if I could have the same power.
I wonder if I could have the same power.
To do away with Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden.
All I have to do is tell somebody on him. And there goes Osama. I am powerful.
I am powerful.
Say this for me if you would, Kim. I'm sorry. And just tell me how true it sounds to you on a 10-point scale. 10 is very true and 0 is false. Say, my grandmother's death was my fault.
My grandmother's death was my fault. That doesn't feel powerful now.
Okay. Doesn't feel powerful. It doesn't feel true. My
No.
question was, how true does it sound?
No.
Doesn't feel true.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Was that one of our 1-minute wonders? Okay, well, I'll take those. Okay, all right. Then it was your Uncle Dick that was the major perpetrator.
And I think it's that I handled things so badly inside, and I panicked at such an intense level, and I was trying to run away, and I couldn't get my body to work. It just wouldn't run.
Okay, running away from the molestation? Is that what you're speaking of? Okay. I had to run away. I couldn't run away. I was 6. What can a 6-year-old girl do? Stay with me. How you doing? Okay. What I think you were doing, because you and I did not discuss details at all this is the first time we're going into kind of detail. What you were tuning into was an actual molestation event. Is that what you? Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to have you tell the story. Okay. You don't want to tell a story now? Okay, that's all right.
I just want the shame to go away.
Okay. Well, okay, but let's do it this way. What I'd like to do is go through the story, but you don't even have to tell it unless you want to. Okay? But you know what the story is.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Which event are we talking about?
Well, you're going to pick it.
Okay.
Okay, and then what I'd like to do is have you pick what to you is the most intense one.
Well, that would be when me trying to run away. I was trying to run, and my body was all floppy and like rubber.
Okay. What number do you get to when you say that?
10.
10. Okay. My body was like rubber.
My body was like rubber.
My body was like rubber.
Like rubber.
My body was like rubber.
My body was like rubber.
Even though my body was like rubber.
Even though my body was like rubber.
What else could it be?
What else could it be?
Under the circumstances.
Under the circumstances.
I'm only 6. I'm only 6. Body was like rubber. I couldn't get away. Chances are at age 6, even if I wasn't, if I didn't have a body like rubber,
if I didn't have a body like rubber,
he was bigger and he could have caught me anyway. But who likes the feeling of having a body like rubber?
Who likes the feeling of having a body like rubber?
How do you feel now?
Better.
Say my body was like rubber.
My body was like rubber.
What number is that?
I don't know. It's not intense anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, when I talked about you said you didn't want to tell the story. You just did in a way. I mean, you told a part of it.
Yeah.
Anyhow. But I want to be clear on something. The hesitancy to tell the story is because it's too personal for anybody to hear, or you just don't like the intensity of it.
I guess I feel too ashamed to.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Even though I feel ashamed.
Even though I feel ashamed.
This is really hard on me.
This is really hard on me.
I'm wondering what the shame is all about.
I'm wondering what the shame is all
Because
about.
what could I do about it anyway?
What could I do about it anyway?
Am I saying true things? Am I saying correct things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because what could I do about it anyway?
You could run.
You could run, yes. But you couldn't even run at that time.
I couldn't even run at that time.
Is the shame because you couldn't run?
Because I didn't do anything. I should have been able to do something to,
You should have been able to do something. Like what?
I don't know, scream or run or wish I knew karate.
Okay. Even though at age 6 I'm not a karate champion, I deeply, completely accept myself. I should have been able to scream. I should have been able to do all kinds of things at age 6. Let me ask you, Kim, logically, this is logically now, should you be ashamed? I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
No.
Logically, you should not. Okay. Okay. Even though I have lodged within me
Logic within me.
some kind of an emotional issue
Some kind of an emotional issue.
that brings up shame,
That brings up shame.
because maybe I'm supposed to.
Maybe I'm supposed to.
I don't know where I got that.
Where I got that.
Well, maybe you do. Where did you get that?
I don't know.
Do you know where you got it? Okay. You don't have to repeat me. You can just repeat what she said. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. All right. What I'm picking up, and I want you to verify, is it correct? You talk to your grandmother. Your grandmother only says, "Don't tell anybody," and you interpret all these other things about it. The bit about being ashamed, my guess is you're also interpreting somehow. This, I mean, you have to get that from someplace, even if you can't remember, because somehow or other you have to associate this event, this helpless, basically 6-year-old girl, at the hands of a much bigger man, an uncle that shouldn't be doing these things anyway. Okay, and somehow or other you pick up shame from that. Could that come from religious experience, the church maybe? Can you think of where it might have come from?
I guess I just felt I must be really bad. I deserve to be treated bad.
Okay.
Belief.
Okay. All right. Even though I felt I was really bad.
Even though I felt I was really bad.
And I deserved to be treated badly.
I deserved to be treated badly.
Basically what I'm doing is taking the views
taking the views
of a 6-year-old girl
of a 6-year-old girl
who of course knows how to evaluate these things.
Of course knows how to evaluate these things.
She's been through it many times, so she has lots of experience.
She's been through it many times, and she has lots of experience.
So she knows when she should feel bad.
So she knows when she should feel
She
bad.
should feel ashamed.
She should feel ashamed.
She should be able to distinguish between the inappropriate action of an uncle and whatever else, I don't know. That's good enough. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay. Say my legs were like rubber.
My legs were like rubber.
And say I'm ashamed of myself.
I'm ashamed of myself.
How true does that I'm ashamed sound?
It's way, way low now.
Way low. Oh, okay. All right. I might whisper something to you. Okay. Okay. All right. Even though I don't really know what happened.
Even though I don't really know what happened.
In this Uncle Dick molestation issue.
This Uncle Dick molestation issue.
I can only imagine.
I can only imagine.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I was just there.
I was just there.
What else could I do?
What else could I do?
I'm going to ask you, what else could you do? You could have screamed. Okay. But what else could you have done?
That's it. About all I could have done, really.
Was scream?
Yeah.
Okay. And was there anybody around to hear it?
I think the house was full of people. They were sleeping.
Oh, okay. All right. Even though I wasn't able to scream.
Even though I wasn't able to scream.
And I'm now carrying around all these problems.
And I'm not carrying around all these problems.
Because I couldn't get a scream out of my little body.
Because I couldn't get the scream out of my little body.
Were you a good screamer, by the way?
No.
You weren't even a good screamer?
No.
Okay. Even if I had screamed?
Even if I had screamed.
Probably nobody would have heard me.
Nobody would have heard me.
So there really was nothing I could do.
There really was nothing I could do.
Are they heavy sleepers?
Probably.
Okay. Okay. I'm curious about your response to something. Say this. Say, I really blame Uncle Dick. Say that.
I really blame Uncle Dick.
Does that sound true to you?
I think it was more generalized that, men were just scary things and you better stay away from them.
Okay. All right. Well, I would pick that up if I was 6. Okay. Okay. Are men still scary things? Mm-hmm. Am I a scary thing?
Sometimes.
Am I scary for the moment?
No.
Is it okay if I didn't ask permission, but I've got my hands all over you? Is that all right? Okay. Even though men are scary things?
Even though men are scary things.
I need to ask you something before we go into that. Your relationship with men has been tempered over time?
Yeah.
So you haven't had many relationships with men?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because of all this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they're scary things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever been married? Have you had boyfriends and this kind of thing?
Long time ago.
Married or boyfriend?
Uh-huh.
Both?
I was married when I was 16 and divorced when I was 19.
Oh, okay. That's been your only experience?
Well, with marriage, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But boyfriend since?
I have had a couple boyfriends.
Okay. Were they good experiences?
Not really.
Not really. They were scary things? Okay. Even though in my experience,
Even though in my experience,
men are scary things.
men are scary things.
They're big.
They're big.
They're aggressive.
They're aggressive.
They don't have good sense.
They don't have good sense.
All they do is follow their dumbstick. Did you actually say that? Well, they do.
Okay.
Who's laughing so hard? Well, actually, that's a true statement, isn't it? Are men scary things because are men scary because of their thumbsticks? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I don't know how we're going to change that.
I guess I'll just change me.
Well, we might be able to change your response to it, or at least do something about that. Because see, you've got some really, in my view, some really strong table legs under this thing. Men are scary things, and for very good reasons. You've had uncles after you at a very young age, okay? And you've had people saying, don't tell anything, it's a big secret, shame, 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 shame. You've had all of that. You've had a couple of marriages, or marriage and a couple of boyfriends, etc., which were scary events to you. They were dumbstick related, I gather. Yeah, what else?
Yeah.
What else could they be? Okay. But let me ask you, logically, are all men scary things? Okay, but the men you've been around are scary things. Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you think it is, and be as accurate as you can, okay, do you think it is possible for you to have a solid relationship with a non-scary man?
I hope so.
Okay. As you look around, when you look around at you, there's men here, okay? Does your self-talk is, first of all, they're scary?
No.
They've got to prove non-scariness to me if we're going to go anyplace?
I guess it's just a silly child's belief that I don't have really consciously. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, but I'm asking your emotional response.
Okay.
You know, if some man came up to you and asked you out for coffee, what's going to be your self-talk?
I'd just say no.
Okay, that's what you would say with your voice. What's your self-talk?
I would feel fear.
Feel fear, like he's a scary thing. So this coffee's going to lead to something scary, right? Okay, okay. Even though men are scary things.
Even though men are scary things.
Not logically, but emotionally.
Not logically, but emotionally.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. And I forgive all dumbsticks.
Forgive all thumbsticks.
Dumbsticks are just dumbsticks, okay? That's all they are.
That's all they are.
Okay. It's what men do with them that maybe is a problem.
That's what men do with them that maybe is a problem.
Some are motivated in the wrong directions.
Some are motivated in the wrong direction.
And some aren't.
And some aren't.
And while we're at it, some women are motivated in the wrong directions. And some aren't.
Some aren't.
Some women are scary things, you know. Just ask my wallet. Oh, how true. When I was, which video set was that? EFT, I talked about the EFT, the Palace of Possibilities. I was talking about my dumbstick was the most expensive part of my body. because I figured with the cost of raising a family and college education and divorce and all of that, it cost me about $100,000 an inch. So let me tell you, dumbsticks aren't the only scare. They scare me, actually. By the way, that cost me over $1 million. Just so you didn't.
This isn't going like I thought it would at all.
Well, it's not going like I thought it would either. Okay? Yeah, it's nice to have some humor about it, and some laugh and all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is we can have all the humor in the world, and that might take some of the edge off of the scariness. Okay, I'm not sure that does it by itself. It's just one of the things we can do to help lighten things a little bit, close your eye. Yeah, close your eyes for a moment. And let me just walk you through something if you could, okay? I want you to imagine that you're here and you're at the restaurant. And somebody comes up, a man, pleasant-looking man, and says, Kim, I'd like to sit down and talk to you. Okay? Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, what is your resistance?
I guess now it's about a 5. I don't.
It's about a 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Used to be a 12. So.
Okay, okay. Well, we may get you a date before you know. Even though I have some hesitancy.
Even though I have some hesitancy.
About even talking with a man.
Even talking with a man.
Because he's potentially a scary thing.
Because he's potentially a scary thing.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. He's also potentially.
He's also potentially.
A good, warm friend.
A good, warm friend.
Okay. True statement?
Keep doing that.
Okay. He's also potentially a good, warm friend. You can say that if you want. He's also potentially
a good, warm friend.
Okay. They're not all Uncle Dick.
They're not all Uncle Dick.
Okay. And they're not all my ex-husband and boyfriends.
They're not all my ex-husband and boyfriends.
You're not supposed to sigh like that. That means something good is happening. Close your eyes now, if you would. Imagine that scene again, and somebody's coming up and saying, "Hey, okay if I sit down and talk to you?" And tell me what your resistance number is at the moment.
I guess 0.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to go anywhere after that.
No, I know. You're just sitting here in your chair.
Right.
See, that's sort of like, by the way, it's sort of like when you deal with somebody who has maybe a height phobia and they're sitting in their chair, you know, and they think about being up high. They used to get intense about it, but now they're not. But the real test is getting up on the building, okay? So, I mean, it's worthwhile to get to a point where it doesn't seem to bother you now. I mean, that's a good move, okay? By the way, this is not necessarily an open invitation for every guy to hit on her, okay? Okay. By the way, when I just said guys hitting on you, did that give you some intensity?
Yeah, I felt shy. If that's a feeling, I don't know.
Well, okay. Shy is different than resistant. And so I want to draw you to tell me the distinction.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe I wouldn't know what to say, or he's not scary anymore.
Oh, all right. That is different.
Okay. Okay, but when you said shy does not include scary?
Not like I used to be.
Okay, shy is like, I haven't been here very much before. I don't really know how to even have this conversation because I'm kind of introverted and I've been keeping my secret for so long and so on.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though I've been keeping my secrets for so very long.
Even though I've been keeping my secret for so very long.
And it's now out.
And it's now out.
So I can't hide behind it anymore.
So I can't hide behind it anymore.
It's on film.
It's on film.
And I hope Uncle Dick sees it. Do you hope he sees it? Yeah? Say this for me, okay?
Okay.
And tell me how true it sounds. Okay. Dumb sticks are scary.
Dumb sticks are scary.
Saying it doesn't bother you? Okay. I'm going to shift back for a second if I can. I'd like to have you do just close your eyes, okay? And go back to the molestation event as well as you can remember it, okay? And go through that movie and tell me what intensity if you get intensity, tell me what that is. And stop as soon as you get intense, by the way. There's no intensity? Okay. Okay. I want you to try it again if you would, and this time exaggerate all the sights and sounds. Literally try to get yourself worked up. Imagine the rubbery legs being even more rubbery and feeling very helpless. I mean, do your best to get yourself worked up.
It just seems like a movie I don't have to play anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, that helps. But there's been more than one molestation event. So why don't you go to another molestation event with either Uncle Bill or Uncle Dick or whomever it may have been, okay, and go through that one and tell me if you get intensity. Just go through it in your mind. You pick anything up? Is there any? Go through all of your boyfriends, your two or three boyfriends, whoever it was, and your husband, and any aggressive, dumb stick, scary guy thing they did, and see if any of those can get you any intensity. And the minute it does, just stop. No.
Wow.
Do this if you would. Close your eyes and go back to an actual scene, a specific event with one of your facial clients, okay, where you were trying to have a conversation, but you just couldn't do it, okay? And give me a number on a scale of 0 to 10 about what intensity that might be for you.
I don't know. I guess that's a 5.
Okay. Do you have any physical goings on that would tell you it's a 5?
Yeah, a little tightness in my stomach.
Okay. That's one you had the other night. That tends to be your common barometer, so you get about a 5. Okay. So even though I have this 5 in my stomach,
Even though I have this 5 in my stomach.
about a conversation
About a conversation.
with a customer,
I
deeply and completely accept myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
It's just a conversation.
It's just a
The
conversation.
customer would probably like to talk.
The customer would probably like
True
to
statement?
talk.
Okay. Okay. And I would like to talk as well.
And I would like to talk as well.
Okay. I'd like to be at peace on that.
I'd like to be at peace on that.
I'd like to feel no longer ashamed.
I'd like to feel no longer ashamed.
I'd like to feel no longer in prison.
I'd like to feel no longer in prison.
Is prison the right word? Okay. I'd like to have the keys.
I'd like to have the keys.
Okay. Close your eyes again and go over that issue with that client and tell me if you still get this thing in your stomach. You don't? Okay. All right. Keep your eyes closed again. And go back to this scene we talked about where some gentleman may come up and say, hey, could I sit down? And do you still feel a shy feeling?
No, I don't know what to say, but I don't
Yeah,
think I've
okay.
got shy.
Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, the rest of that is going to be experience. You know, it's like somebody can watch somebody play baseball and say, I'd love to play baseball, but you got to play baseball. You know, you got to learn how to catch the ball, throw the ball, and hit the ball, and that's all experience. And you don't have much experience because you've been hiding for all these years. You know, does hiding say this for me and tell me how true it seems emotionally? Say, I need to hide.
That's been very true. I mean, I knew that consciously.
Is that still true?
Oh,
Say, I need to hide.
I need to hide. Well, I guess not. If I don't have a secret, I don't have to hide.
And I told you secret, huh? Well, yeah, but that's kind of a logical statement. I wanted to know emotionally when you say this with emphasis. I need to hide.
I need to hide.
How true does that sound?
I don't think that's particularly true. I don't think I'll ever be like you, outgoing or anything like that. But I just won't be so quiet and withdrawn.
Okay. Well, it's a matter of practice. You know, it's like anything else, it's practice. So the first time you have a conversation, that's something you haven't done. I mean, much. I mean, you have conversations, but you're not experienced. Yeah, okay. Okay, good. It seems to me we've come to a nice place. Have we? Okay.
Yeah, you just changed my whole personality. Not very much time at all. Thank you.